All right. Party time.
All right.
Excellent.
All right, I gotta. I don't want to die, but
No. Is that an option?
I don't know.
Maybe.
So I'll just start with a story. Last Thursday, I was at Chuck E. Cheese with the fiance.
I can't tell if this is like the beginning of a joke. Or...
No, this is
okay.
it's a true story, but it's funny in my opinion. Okay. So we'll see how it plays out.
Wait, we recorded last Thursday.
We did.
So was this after we recorded?
Yeah, okay. After we recorded last Thursday.
I can't believe you would have like this great story that you're just going to hold on to. Like, no. Next week.
For an entire week, I will not share this. No. It happened after the podcast recording.
Okay.
We went to Chuck E. Cheese, fiance, myself, her niece and nephew, and then her parents. So give the kids a night, like their parents a night out. Mm-hmm. And so we go to Chuck E. Cheese, we're hanging out playing games or whatever at the arcade, getting pizza, which Chuck E. Cheese pizza, it's okay.
It's not bad.
It's okay. It's
better than it seems like it would be.
Yeah, for sure. But also not as good as pizza could be.
This is true. There is some good pizza out there.
Yeah.
And Chuck E. Cheese does not have it.
No, it does not. And then her parents got the cookie, like their Pizookie effectively.
Okay.
And that was okay as well. Yeah, I'll call it okay.
I mean, when you put all your money into the animatronics, there's not a lot left for pizza and cookies and all of that.
Yeah. So we're there and playing and stuff like that, and we're sitting down eating, and I farted. But it was a silent but deadly one.
Okay.
And it was deadly. And then Carissa, who had her niece on her, like on her lap or whatever, was like, "Oh, I think she might have pooped her pants."
Wait, so this is a much younger niece?
Yeah.
I'm thinking
no, she's
8, 9.
She's 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's not even 2 fully yet.
Okay.
So she thinks that the 2-year-old has pooped her pants.
Okay.
And I just don't say a word. I don't say a word. I'm like, oh. I don't agree. I don't disagree. I just say, oh, okay. Oh, yeah. And then I wait a little bit and I go, I don't smell anything.
Well, that's because of the rule. Whoever smelt it dealt it, right? So you can't be like, well, I don't smell anything.
I just waited long enough for it to dissipate in the air and then be like, oh, you don't have to go change her because there's nothing in the air. So I didn't waste a diaper with a lie. I just
so you saved the diaper.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. Oh, weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a kid. I don't know. Was it a crop duster? Who knows? And
it's probably Chuck.
No one's known this until right now.
Wow.
I did not tell her.
Now everybody listening to this is going to be like, oh.
Yeah, they're going to know. And she'll find out when she listens to this week's episode. So if I get a text about this incident, then I'll know she listened.
That's how you know if people are listening.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So that was my week.
That's funny. That actually reminds me of a story of a time with family, and I'm not going to say who, where this family member who was female was putting her kids in the back seat of their car, and so she was on one side of the car and I was on the other side, and I was helping get this kid in on this side, and I farted. And I didn't think much of it. I thought I was outside, it was not going to be that big of a deal. But then it wafted into the car or whatever. And the kids were still young enough. And so this family member who was female went and then leaned into it to get a good whiff of it. It just, and then got out of the car. And I was just like,
Jane.
You just got a whole mouthful of Jesse fart. Oh, man. For those of you who are looking for an intellectual conversation about spiritual things and or us talking about our feelings and where we've grown and really matured as men.
This is not that episode.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. This has been any indication.
Well, I just wanted to break the ice.
You broke the something.
The wind. I did that on Thursday to my brain. I was like, do not tell a soul. You're just going to reveal this on the podcast. I knew immediately that I was going to reveal it on the podcast.
That's really funny.
So, yeah.
All right.
And then I have one other question for you.
Oh.
And this one's a little bit more theological, a little bit deeper. And I just need a pastor's opinion on the issue.
I'll see if I can find one for you.
Yeah. So, the Bible tells us that creation happened. God created Adam and Eve on the sixth day. We don't need to get into what that means as far as the day. Just he created Adam and Eve. Ultimately is what happened.
Right.
They're the first humans on the earth. And then he tells them, be fruitful and multiply.
Okay.
Did he have any more of the talk with Adam and Eve? Like he obviously doesn't have to cover like STDs because they're the only two, so that's not going to happen.
Right.
But was there a mechanics talk? Was there hey, you can't really say use protection because he said be fruitful and multiply. So
I am gonna say that it was instinctual.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say that it was because I don't know that God sat down with all of the animals to give them the talk.
For sure.
And so I think that they just figured it out.
Okay.
I think in that moment that Adam saw Eve, he was like, okay, now.
He wrote a little poem about her.
A little bit. Little
poetry.
Of flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone.
Yeah.
It goes either bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. But he's basically like.
Modern translation. Damn.
Wowzer. And so I think that they figured it out.
Am I allowed to say that on the podcast? I threw a Y in there to try and soften the sound.
DAY MN.
I don't know.
We're what? Oh, this is 15. This is episode 15.
Is it 15? Okay. I lost track just because I've enjoyed it. It was like in the very beginning, I was like, oh, this is 2, this is 3. And now I'm just like, it's what we do. This is...
Yeah, I think that only because I edit them, and so I need to know, like, I've got little, like, thumbnails and all that stuff and creating them, and so I probably wouldn't know either, because I have to even think each time, like, wait, which one is this? Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're at 15. And so maybe 15 is, worthy of one. It's that.
Is that what it was worthy of?
It's that sparkling water.
Oh, no, it's worthy of the... Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
We get one. It's like a PG-13 movie can have one
yeah.
F-bomb, and
yeah.
I just used our podcast app.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be. But I was going to say, we're 15 episodes in. It's not like this is our 500th episode and we've got like this reputation. Like, I mean, there's a handful of people that listen to us and they know us already. Yeah. And so if you have found us in the year 2024, 2026, whatever it is, maybe 2046, and these are on some kind of weird national archive.
Man, what if we end up in like the Library of Congress?
Yeah, especially with that opening about farts, for sure. For sure.
This is high. That's high praise.
It's high praise.
High praise.
I heard a suggestion about Andy Samberg doing a movie as Nicolas Cage.
All right. I was hoping that Andy Samberg would make an appearance in what is it, the incredible weight of massive...
Unbearable weight?
Yeah, unbearable
massive
weight.
Talent? Yeah.
Yep. I was hoping that he would make an appearance in there as Nicolas Cage, and he didn't. Spoiler alert, by the way. Dang. But
I really want to see that movie.
I enjoyed it.
I can't wait
to see it. As a Nick Cage fan, I enjoy the movie a lot. I've heard other people say, it's very meta. It gets very meta about things.
That sounds like Nick Cage.
Yeah. But it was enjoyable.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what are we talking about on this podcast?
Well,
is this it? We're just going to do this the whole time and just see what happens?
You never answered the question about the talk. You kind of got into it, and then I said, yeah.
I can. Where's our? Are we gonna? Hey, I feel like we've lost a lot of form to this here podcast that we do.
Yeah. Jesse, do you think God gave Adam and Eve the talk?
Huh. Let's podcast about it. So I don't think that he did give him the talk. I don't think he had to. I think they figured it out instinctually.
Okay.
But what that made me think then is that the talk originated, and I don't know, right? I'm not an anthropology major. Like it's a study of people.
Yeah.
And why they do things. But
I knew a girl in the Navy. She was in the nuclear program with me, but she also majored in anthropology. And so I just remember her every single time. Like someone said, "Oh, does anybody have a degree in here?" And she'd be like, "What's your degree in?" She goes, "Anthropology." And she had just a deep voice. Like, that's just how she talked, right? But I was like, for some reason, her saying that is stuck in my brain. Whenever someone says anthropology, that's the only thing I think of.
Huh. I usually think of Bones.
Oh, like the TV show. Okay.
Because that was the Dr. Brennan had a degree in anthropology, and that was
and that's Zoe Deschanel's sister, right?
Yes. Emily?
Yes, Emily Deschanel. Yeah, there you go.
Anyways,
so the talk.
I don't think that the talk. I don't think God had to give it. I think that it was instinctual, but I think that the talk developed over time because so many wrong things about sex entered into the picture.
Yeah.
And so it became like, hey, look, I need to have this conversation with you because you're going to hear other people talk about it. You're going to, especially nowadays, I guess back then you probably wouldn't see it as often as you can now because of the internet and every device has it. But because there are so many like competing thoughts and so much information that's out there that can be dangerous. Let me give you the talk. Let me tell you exactly how it is. And I think that's even where kind of like why we have sex ed, right? Because it's like, hey, you need to know these things that are going on. Well, I guess some of it's important to like, here's how your body works.
Yeah.
But as far as sex goes, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, especially from a biblical standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts without any kind of like research.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably agree with it. Like Adam and Eve didn't need it. They were, I just like the idea of God sending them down in the garden. Like, be fruitful and multiply. And now that I've told you that, let's have a little PowerPoint presentation about what that means. You see, Adam.
For some reason, I'm just picturing Adam too being like, oh, you're embarrassing me, God. Like, I'm just, oh man.
Dad.
She's right there. She can hear you. Stop it. Stop.
And then and now Eve for you. And she just beat red, mortified, being like, no.
Oh man, that actually makes me. This next thing I'm going to say is only linked to this because we're talking about Adam and Eve. But my youngest boy the other day, I don't know why he asked me this. We were in the car, I think, going somewhere. But he's like, "Dad, who was the first person to die?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Ever, like in the whole world, ever, who was the first person to die?" And I was like, "Abel."
Uh-huh.
And
see, he's lucky he didn't ask me that question because I would have gotten real nerdy about it. I'm like, well, Adam and Eve were the first two to sin. And on that day, death entered the world. So technically...
Well, yeah. So I get that part. There was a separation, but as far as death goes, right? That's where he's going. All of that.
That's why I said he's kind of didn't ask me.
He'd been like, "What?" But then I kind of like briefly told the story of Cain and Abel that they were fighting, and Cain was jealous and was angry at his brother and killed him. And James was like, "Well, I get mad at my brothers and I don't kill them." I'm like, "Yes, thank you. Good. That is the plan."
I thought it was going to go somewhere else, but wait.
Yeah, this was a lesson in what not to do. Please don't kill your brothers.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah, wait. So that's what I'm supposed to do. Got you.
I could
no,
do
James.
That.
No. It was just interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what brought him down that pathway.
Maybe he was thinking about harming his brothers and just thought, yeah. How long has this been going on?
We might have to have a whole mini Sun talk about brothers and bad examples we've had through the years.
We could.
Yeah.
My brothers are great.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not.
No. You were saying that you hate your brothers. Do you hear that? All the rest of the Holden clan.
I do not hate them. No. They weren't getting me my groomsmen at my wedding.
That's awesome.
Because I want them to, but also because it gets me out of that awkward conversation of which of my friends do I want to be up there. If I just say it's my brothers, you can't argue with it, or you shouldn't argue with it, I should say.
Nope. We had a lot of people in our wedding party, and I think we had like seven people on each side, and a lot of it were Liz's. A lot of people really close to Liz, and so then I was finding people to like throw into mine. We had everybody kind of matched up, and it's so weird too, because as I look back, and I'm pretty sure none of them listened to this, but I am probably connected to none of them. Like I talk to maybe on occasion, a couple of them, maybe, but none of them.
Yeah.
And so if I could go back and redo it, I would. Like I would put my brothers in there. I would put probably a couple other friends that have maintained a closeness, even though we've lived far apart from each other. And so with my brothers, though, I did have this whole plan, and we were ready to go, that they were going to be the ring bearers, and they were going to have bear costumes, and they were going to do that, and we were ready to go. Mom said no.
I would say no.
She pulled the plug on that.
Yeah.
And it was okay. They did the ushering, and they did a great job seating on the family.
Ushering?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're ushers, baby.
Do you remember when I did that in the service?
I do.
The announcements.
Yeah.
I was doing announcements one Sunday, and we were taking we were accepting people for I don't know, like an informational meeting. Like, hey, you want to be an usher? Go ahead. And I just threw up a big picture of Usher on the screen.
It was like,
most of the people they had no idea why I did. They're like, "What is this? How is this?" And then a couple people though who were with
chuckled.
it. Yeah,
a little younger, a little hipper.
I only did that once.
Only once.
I didn't do it again.
Yeah. Well, we don't ask for ushers very often.
We don't.
No.
Nope.
We as a church don't do a lot of volunteering, like from the pulpit. Like, hey, come volunteer for this ministry. We'll do it like before VBS and stuff, but like we don't have like a big volunteer weekend. That's like, hey, let's help you get plugged into a spot.
That'd be interesting though. Like
I've heard of other churches that do it.
Almost like a job fair.
Kind of, yeah.
Right? You get the different ministries out with their different booths, and you just kind of like walk around and see and kind of sign up for more information.
Yeah, and it's not like we are going to bring you into this ministry. It's more of a, hey, you're interested?
Yeah.
Here's what we do. And then we can talk about it, see if you're the right fit, and go from there.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. And you might find people that you didn't know were interested in a particular ministry. They were like, oh. Or someone's like, wait, there's a ministry that does this here? We have one that reaches out to like Muslims and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's a ministry. Oh, yeah, we have that. You could partner with people on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
You need a need in the sound booth? I can push an arrow button and go forward.
I can push buttons.
And keep it somewhat in time with lyrics.
I mean,
that's not as necessary. But I'm realistic about what I do.
It's so funny. Sometimes whenever I'm doing things like that, like just moving slides along, whether it's in youth group or I guess I've not really ever done it for big church, but for youth group, I always gauge like how well I did on how many slides I got on time. like, oh man, I only slipped up on 2 slides. That's awesome. Because sometimes I just get in the song.
Yeah,
I'm just
absolutely.
in it, and then I'm 3 slides later, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was oh geez, sorry guys.
Like I love to sing and to worship God through singing and stuff like that, and so when I'm in the middle of worship, I'm like, oh, I gotta hit
Jeremiah's got everything set up on top of a gong. It's hard to see, but
I'm gotta hit the button. I'm like, and there were times like I get, and then you get that slow stare.
All these heads turning around to find you, like push the button,
and you're like, wait, what's going on? Where we at?
Yeah. Interesting segue here a little bit, which, by the way, I've never ridden one, but I'd like to think that if I did, I would do okay until I tried to stop, and then I would crash and then destroy everything. Because according to YouTube and fail videos, if you cannot stop gracefully on a Segway without destroying everything.
You can't?
Not that I've seen. on videos. Nope. You start to fall, and then you whiskey throttle it, and then it takes out everything, and it spins around, and then everything dies. It's a bit dramatic.
How does whiskey
Well,
how do segways start and stop? Like, for some reason I was picturing like either like a handbrake situation. It's like you press it down and you let go.
I think it's just like the little hoverboards that it depends on like your angle.
Oh.
And so that's why.
No, yeah. No, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really want to do it before just because it seems like a weird thing. But those hoverboards, I tried one time.
I've taken video of myself on a hoverboard, and I look so awkward because I'm like a little bit wobbly, but I'm trying not to barely move the wrong direction, and it's a young man's game.
Have your boys been on hoverboards? Because the younger people, they jump on them and they're just like,
yeah,
and they go. And I'm like, slow down.
Our youngest, again, James, was the best at it. We got one for Christmas or something. I can't remember. And he would and we've got a tiny apartment. He would zip through that apartment like it was like he had been doing it his whole life.
That's so weird. Yeah, I've tried one, and I'm like on the wall, like,
yeah,
like bouncing myself, like trying to move my feet, like, and I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's awkward. But you were saying the segues.
So segue into, because you were talking about worship songs. We've kind of been, this is an interesting flow to this podcast here. I have been thinking about, it was a number of podcasts ago that I brought up the question of worship.
Yes.
And which songs are worship, which songs are, like, what makes a worship song. And I've thought a lot about that. And I kind of approached it, I think the last time, in this sense of, if I'm not singing the words like, you, God, are this, and you are this, then it's like, who's the audience, right? If I'm saying even if I'm just describing who God is, it's like, well, wait, am I describing it to God because he knows who he is? So that seems weird to like be singing to God about who God is. And so if I'm singing to the person next to me, like, how is that worship? And so it's a weird stance for me to take, and I'm still kind of wrestling through it, which I think is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, just even through like the Psalms, and one of the passage in Isaiah 6, which I memorized 100 years ago. But it was talking about the Isaiah gets a vision. He sees the throne room.
Yep.
And he sees the seraphim they're flying above or flying around God. Each of them with 6 wings, with 2 that covered their face, with 2 that covered their feet, and with 2 that were flying. And they were calling to one another, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty." And it kind of like that was like, that's worship, right? And so they weren't singing to God. They were saying that to each other. And so that was
interesting.
Like, that was worship, right?
Yeah,
because everybody, all of the creatures, whether angels to humans in heaven, will be worshiping. Like, that's what we get to do, and we do so with our lives. And so I don't know. So that's kind of like been in my mind. And as I think through some of the Psalms, even, which would be worshipful, they're songs that Israel sings that remind them even of their history, right? And so I'm kind of at a point now where I wonder if worship has more to do with. I don't know if the podcast is going to hear that. There's a bunch of bikers outside.
Yeah, I hear that. But once again, I don't know if the podcast will pick it up.
But that worship is more than
the audience.
Yeah, like
it can be. And
I don't know. I'm trying to put the words around it still, and I don't know that I have it yet. But
I think what you're trying to get to, and I'm only trying to. It's not just about who the audience is, but about the heart of the person who's doing it.
Yeah, which I think we say a lot, right? It's a lot about the heart. It's not about what you do. It's about the heart, what's on the inside. For
sure, but in a corporate setting, you and I have. I think we said it the last time, was like, it should be more about God, you're holy. God, you are this. And although the seraphim were saying like holy, holy, they're talking about God. They're declaring it to the rest of creation, to each other, and then to the rest of creation, so that they know, hey, this is who God is. He's
Right.
holy, holy, holy. And so in some way we can be declaring who God is to each other while worshiping on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, almost like reminding each other, like,
Yeah.
no, this, like, we are collectively agreeing, like, this is who God is. Like, oh, did you forget? Because God is this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't you remember? Or remember this?
Don't you
Don't remember? You get out of here.
you don't get to remember.
But anyways, I've just been thinking a lot about that, and I'm sure one of the things that I'm most excited about when I get to heaven is finding out all the ways I was wrong. I think most people
That's going to be half of my time in there. Half of eternity.
I was going to say
eternity.
Half of eternity.
Which is eternity, I think.
It is.
Like half of eternity is still eternity.
Yeah. Eternity times 0.5 is eternity.
Yeah. So all of eternity. I'm just going to have to be like, here's another time, Jeremiah. Here's another time.
It's a long time. I don't know what I was saying.
I had a friend that she doesn't like to think about heaven because the idea of eternity just freaks her out.
I could see that.
I get what she's trying to say.
It's like trying to take what you understand about life here and making it longer. And when you think about, like, even if you just took Mondays and you were just like, forever.
Yeah.
Mondays.
It's actually me Friday. We're going to get down on Friday.
I was going to say that.
And we're going to be looking forward to that weekend.
Oh, man.
Partying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I was saying that, like, my getting to heaven, where most people I'm sure are not excited about learning all the things that they got wrong. It's generally not like people are like, yeah, I can't wait to find out all the way I've messed up. But in heaven, to number one, I get to be in heaven. So, like, I at that point I don't care how many things I got wrong because I
made it.
I'm in eternity, forever watching Jeremiah relive all of his things for eternity. But my understanding is probably most of the time going to be how I understand things on this side of heaven way more narrow than it actually is, and it's the framework I have, and so I don't think that there's anything wrong with it as long as I'm not steering people away from the Lord, but getting people to think, and even myself think critically about the things that we do and how we do them, and making sure that they line up with Scripture. Whereas for like this right here, as I'm reading through Scripture, being like, hey, wait, that's a pretty good example of worship, and it's not they're not all words pointed at God. So maybe there's more to this than I thought. It's
bigger, deeper, more encompassing than we give it credit for.
Yeah,
in our limited minds.
Yeah. Which I think is part of that, as both Paul is referencing, I think if I remember, he's quoting Isaiah, but as far as like heaven being, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, okay. Right? Like all of that, because for that fact that like once we get there and we see it, we go,
yeah.
Oh.
And a lot of us can take the description of heaven in Revelation and be like, oh, that's what heaven's going to be like. It's going to have, the gates and the streets paved with gold and stuff like that. And we're like, that's what it's going to be. And it's like, no. John was taking what he saw and just trying to associate human ideas. Like, first century Jewish concept of the world. I mean, like, this is what I saw.
Yeah.
Audience, I'm trying to describe to you what it was, and that's not it.
Right. This is as close as I can get to you with the words that I have.
Yeah.
This is what I got for you.
It's almost like a tribute to the greatest song in the world. That isn't the greatest song in the world.
This is just the tribute.
Yes. This is just a tribute to heaven. It is not actually heaven.
Yeah, man, that's good. I like that a lot.
Man, I just came up with that too.
That was good. Hey, man, sometimes that happens. You just think, man, I hope I'm recording this.
And I am. I'm doing that now.
It's working.
He's doing it, Peter.
I loved Hook.
Hook is so
Man,
good.
I love that movie.
I like to quote he can fight, he can fly, he can fight, he can I like quoting that. Occasionally, you want to just yell Rufio when I'm doing something.
Right there, I felt the urge to yell it, and I was like, "No, this isn't my story. This is Jeremiah's show."
No, but it's good. You can add like the background vocals to things.
Rufio.
Yeah, just a young Peter Pan.
Apart, and it actually makes me like tear up when the one kid is like pushing on Peter's face, right? Like to like smooth out all the wrinkles, and then he finally gets him. He's like, "There you are, Peter." Oh man,
so good,
so good.
And then that mystery of what happened to Hook. Spoiler alert, by the way. I guess what happened to Hook at the end? He went into the crocodile's mouth, but the crocodile was dead. Which, by the way, that's a huge crocodile.
That was way bigger than in the cartoon.
Yeah,
right, way bigger.
But what happened to him?
I think
is there going to be a Hook 2? I mean, I don't think there can be any right now for reasons.
A lot of reasons.
Unless Will Smith plays Peter Pan. And that's only because he played Genie, for the record.
Wait a second. Oh, wait. But why Will Smith? Oh, because he already replaced Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that was really obscure.
It's not that obscure.
No, I get it now. I get it. But in that moment, I had no idea where you were going. I think that he got squished. I think that it wasn't. I think that all of the insides of his mouth, right, of the crocodile's mouth, it was holding up the clock, but everything past that was solid. It was filled in with something, and so when it came down, it just squished him. It just squished him.
They didn't see him. Like they had to look in his mouth.
Did they get it? Oh, he did go. That's right. They did look in there.
Yeah, to see
Hook's gone.
Yeah. Did the magic of Neverland do something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he run home, Jack?
That's true. Yeah, he just disappeared.
I mean, it's probably because it was, I think, a Disney movie, and they didn't want to have like
blood and guts all over the place.
Yeah,
probably fair. Probably.
But I mean, I love that trivia fact that Glenn Close is in that movie.
Yeah, as one of the pirates.
Yeah, she's one of the pirates, and she gets put in the boo box.
Yeah, not the boo box. Yeah. Oh man.
Still no idea what the boo box is.
Oh, you don't want the boo box.
I know I don't want it.
They drop the scorpions. Like, boo.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Boo. Like that. Good times. Hey, did you see Jurassic Park? Jurassic World?
Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spoilers. Okay, if you have not seen this movie, because I'm about to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it.
We're going to put this on pause for like half a second. Okay. We're going to do the little music right now. I'm going to get me a water.
Okay, so I went and saw
Jurassic World
with
Dominion
with the boys and Liz on just the other day. They had gotten out of school. There was the last day of school, early dismissal, and we had some gift cards and stuff. And so we went and saw it. We saw it at the Harkins Theater, which is great. Had the seats that go up.
love Harkins.
It's
if
nice.
I lived closer, I would go, but I don't. I live over in Buena Park now, but the Harkins is fantastic. Leather seats, reclines. Mm-hmm. I was there actually for its opening, like actual opening day.
Harkins?
Yeah.
Nice.
I just happened to be like at the mall that day, and like so like the whatever Mr. Harkins' name is, he was there and stuff.
Philip J. Harkins.
Yeah. Yeah, Philip J. was there. You know, hey, thanks for coming to the movie theater, you know, and I want to say I saw like Captain America there. Like maybe Civil War or something like that. Or yeah, one of the Captain Americas, maybe Winter Soldier, whenever it opened up. But he like walked in and said, "Hey guys, you know, thanks for coming out to the movie theater and stuff like that." And they were giving away prizes and stuff. I didn't win anything, but small tangent. Go ahead. Jurassic World.
Real quick, another tangent.
We only have one tangent per podcast.
Yeah, no way. That'd be a short podcast. You had said Mr. Harkins, whatever, and I said Philip J. Harkins.
Yep.
I have this thing, and it's anytime anybody asks me who made something or who created something or where did something come from, I almost always will use that thing that they're asking about as the last name, and it's either Philip J. or Thomas A.
Okay.
Every time. And so we were at winter camp, I don't know, back in February or whatever, and one of the kids we're all in the cabin of guys trying to get ready for bed, which I think took another 7 hours. But one of the kids was said, "Hey, Pastor Jesse, who put the Bible together?" And I said, "Oh, that was Thomas A. Bible. That's why they call it the Bible." And like, I swear, there was like 4 or 5 kids who went, "Really? What?
Whoa!
I never knew." And then right there, I'm like, "Oh,
my sarcasm's gonna get the best of me."
I am worried that you are all going to believe that." And so then we had to have a quick little lesson on that. But it just because I just said it so quickly and so matter of factly that
it's
just,
so natural for you
even
to
the
say.
kids
Yeah.
who knew a little bit more about like how the Bible came together. They even said, they're like, I was pretty sure I knew that wasn't right, but I don't know, the way you said that, like I was thinking
there was some authority behind it. Like, was Thomas A. Bible the one that like headed up the councils? Is that what happened?
That's why they call it Bible. Anyways, Thomas A. Bible. Okay, Jurassic World Dominion.
Okay.
The final in the final, right? Like that's it. Well, what they say anyways. Like,
yeah.
There's the original trilogy, the Jurassic Park trilogy, and then there's the Jurassic World trilogy, but this is the third of the Jurassic World.
Yep.
And
you want to give it a star rating?
out of how many?
I'd say out of 5.
5?
Out of 5 raptor claws.
5 raptor claws.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
I really, now it shouldn't surprise you. I say this about just about every movie that I watch. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
3.5.
I enjoyed it. Oh, that's okay.
Well, you didn't ask me how many raptor claws I gave it, so I just had to throw it in there.
Well, I'll edit all this out. Jeremiah, what about you? What do you know?
I give like 3.5. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I saw some plot holes or little things that I'm like, but I enjoyed it a lot. I thought they did really well mashing the old with the new.
Yeah.
Honoring like the both of them, keeping the fans like,
yeah.
Hey, if you like Jurassic Park, we're not gonna take what you had and throw it away.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and yeah, there are totally some things that didn't really work, but at the same time, I had to go. It's like it's a movie, so it's not supposed to be totally 100% realistic.
They clone dinosaurs, so it's 100%
right off the bat.
100% realistic.
But like the dinosaur chase scenes, the dinosaurs in general, with the exception of the dinosaur fight at the end, whatever. But
I can believe that way more than I can Claire outrunning effectively a velociraptor. Like,
why?
She's a human.
Yeah.
She outran that thing. And then the next scene, we see that exact same dinosaur chasing down a motorcycle, which means that she's running as fast as a motorcycle.
We don't know her background. Like, she could have
no human background doing that. Usain Bolt gets destroyed by those dinosaurs. Right.
They for sure would have died. But
once again, suspended belief because it's a movie and I went there for fantastical. So
but it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Like and they were long. They weren't like these little like 30-second chases. Like they were like that one with the whatever kind of raptor they were, because they weren't regular raptors. They were whatever raptors that could smell laser beams and then know that the laser beam is still there forever. Whatever.
I know they kind of hinted that at the end of like Fallen Kingdom, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like the end of Fallen Kingdom, they mentioned like that's something they're breeding into the dinosaurs or whatever.
Which,
so
I don't understand. Whatever, science. Blah,
it's science,
blah.
yeah.
I didn't care.
Sciencey mumbo jumbo.
Once the laser hits them, then they're laser focused, and
they've got their eyes set on you.
Yes, but like that was just such a great. It was a great chase. I thought it was really great. Even the weird bird dinosaur that swims under ice water, with Owen and whatever that girl's name was a blast. Like it was good, and I feel like they did it in such a way where you weren't 100% sure that they were all going to survive, and I liked that.
So I have a couple of questions, and once again,
hang on 1 second. Sorry.
Jurassic World.
I don't even remember what we were saying. Or what you were saying?
Yeah. We were talking about dinosaurs. Can they chase down a human / motorcycle? Usain Bolt was a joke I threw out there.
Yeah.
Laser focused dinosaurs, and how they can sniff out humans forever, and they're laser focused.
Laser focused. Yeah,
I think that was where we ended, and then
it was just I just thought it was just really, really entertaining. And then there were a couple little bits, and I didn't catch all of them. I only caught a couple, like throwbacks to the original. Okay, there was at that last dinosaur fight, as the T-Rex was coming up, there was that big, huge kind of like circle fountain thing, and the T-Rex kind of like walked into it just kind of like the original symbol kind of thing, and I thought that was pretty awesome. There was a scene a little bit before that where they're all like in the observation tower or whatever that was, and the one of the girls looks at Jeff Goldblum and kind of looks at him funny, and he looks down and he goes, "Oh." He had like 3 buttons undone. He kind of does the buttons back up. I thought that was so funny.
That was clever, yeah.
There was at one point that I thought that I thought something was going to happen that didn't, and it's probably okay that it didn't happen. But the pilot, the smuggler, I thought was going to turn out to be Jeff Goldblum's kid.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool.
Like I thought that she was going to get the island, he was going to see her, and he'd be like, What are you doing here? And she was like, Dad, you can't tell me what to do. Right? Like kind of, I thought that was going to be a thing.
Yeah, that would have been a cool little nod to the second movie.
Yeah.
A Lost World. Yeah, I mean, I overall enjoyed the movie. I've had a lot of people dislike a lot of things about it, but when you're going into a movie about dinosaurs being recreated from their DNA plus other animal DNA,
right,
like other reptiles, you suspend disbelief, you know? You have to turn that off a little bit.
Well, even considering you've got one clone, like a human clone.
Yeah, human clone from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Like early 2000s when she was made.
Yeah. Disbelief needed to have been suspended a long time ago. Like And you know what? Now, this made me think too, like, because I remember seeing a lot of reviews that were like, this movie's going to be bad. Like, I've heard gross things. It's going to be bad. Yeah. And I hate that, but there's this weird thing of like, it has to be real. It needs to be 100% real. Otherwise, like, it would never work like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that dinosaur couldn't. Okay, first of all, you said dinosaur, so of course that couldn't. You're right. But it's like, I don't know. Of course it's not real. Like, it's not meant to be real. It's meant to be fun and entertaining and maybe get you to think a little bit. And that's what I love about movies.
Yeah. Well, the running raptor, that definitely stuck with me. There's that point where, like, I don't know if they're called Dilophosaurus. What are like the spitter ones?
Yeah.
And it's about to spit, and then Chris Pratt just comes up from the side and like chokes it out.
It's amazing.
It was an amazing scene.
Amazing.
But
and then you can see like the thick venom kind of like come out of his. He just poisoned / I don't know. I guess it wouldn't work the same on him.
I don't know.
But I don't know how those work. We don't even know if they actually do that. Because how would you know that from a fossil?
Who knows?
Science.
But I was like, okay, that's a little fun. That's a little far fetched. But once again, I can just sense.
I almost clapped. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not a theater like I'm not like in the movies clapping kind of person. But like that, I thought that was awesome.
I do wish, and this is just kind of I guess because I've been conditioned with movies and TV shows lately, that one of like the main characters would have died to lend a little bit more weight to the situation.
Okay.
Like, and that's not like oh my goodness, it didn't. It's more of a, it's a little implausible that
everybody always survives these horrendous, insane.
The people
things
we want to live have all lived.
Right.
Well,
Sam Jackson already died.
Yes.
All the way back in the first one.
That's because he didn't know the magic word. But yeah, like it just okay. Can one person die? And then
because did anybody besides the boss?
No, I mean obviously there were some people that died because like
it's just random people.
Yeah, but no one like of like weight to the story or nothing like that.
Yeah.
The other critique I would have of it is, and this could just be me not understanding science, But aren't
If anybody in this room understands science, it's you more than me.
But aren't reptiles warm-blooded, which means they need to be in warm places?
I did have a question about all the snow. Like it should have been really cold up there.
And I was like, out of everything in the movie, that was the one thing I was like, can the dinosaurs move?
Well, if you saw the movie Ice Age, the documentary, with Diego,
Yep.
the
Sid the Sloth.
yeah. No. You could totally ice is not that big a deal. It's just harder to find food, but they provided for that.
But they don't have dinosaurs in that, do they?
In Ice Age?
Yeah.
They were underneath the planet. Wait, it was a mix. I don't remember now.
But
it's all that same era. Aren't they all together in the same?
But there's a difference between a mammal, which is what we are, and Sid and Diego and the woolly mammoth would be.
But there were other little other things.
But there weren't any reptiles that were cold-blooded.
Dang.
And so that's
such a perfect analogy right there. That was just those two linked together. No, you're right. I think they had some, but they weren't the main.
Yeah,
the main bits. You're right. So it was mostly mammals. There was a whole
cold-blooded animal. Or sorry, cold-blooded animal. I think they said they were warm-blooded, but cold-blooded reptiles need the heat to warm them up in their blood. Otherwise, they're very slow and don't move around. That's one of the few things I know about reptiles.
Maybe that was part of the the
dino DNA.
Yeah, the gene mutation thing.
Okay, I mean, and definitely I can suspend that. I can turn that off, right? My next question would be is how long were they over in Sweden or whatever that country they were in was? Because they left snow on the ground in were they in Utah? Is that where they were?
I have no idea.
Whatever state they were in, right?
Yeah.
Wherever they left. There was snow on the ground when they left.
Mm-hmm.
They come back, and it looks like it's spring.
It was just that right at that cutoff. Right at the end of winter and the beginning of spring.
Is that week?
It's like a week. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, maybe. But I was just and it was probably a COVID, filming thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably what it was. But I was just that was cold.
Or it's symbolic. The iciness of the relationship.
Symbology.
Right? The symbologists said that there was icy, frigid relationships because of unknown things. And then things became known and understood. And now we have warmth. We have love.
Okay.
We have communication. It's not frigid anymore.
Oh, and the world was under oppressive snow.
Yeah.
And now the snow is gone and there's warmth in the world.
Yeah.
And we're learning to live in harmony where dinosaurs run with horses and
and humans run faster than raptors.
But somehow the world is living together, which that's another thing. How many dinosaurs did Engine create?
Because what we see at the end of the Fallen Kingdom, it was a bunch, but it was 20.
And I realize that there are PETA-like organizations out there. I guarantee in that world there would be.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you just kill them all? Shoot them. We made them. It's not like we're oh my goodness, we got to protect a species that's going. No, they are extinct.
Yeah. They were already extinct.
Them.
These things are going to crush us all.
Yeah.
You get one brontosaurus that takes a wrong turn down the city, and there it is. There goes your city.
Yeah. You can't have too many Chris Pratts out there, roping them as if they're cattle. Which I didn't appreciate. Come on, come back to the farm with me.
Hey, that guy's got skills.
But I did like the idea of them just in the cities with us.
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh, yep, there's a little dinosaur over there. It's in the park just playing. And this one's not any of my kids apparently. He's been domesticated.
Yeah. Humans and dinosaurs I don't think is a great mix. Especially the dinosaurs that were just breeding on their own.
The 6 documentaries I've seen about this issue has told me it would be fantastic.
Yeah. No problems.
Yeah, no problems.
No, there are no issues with this at all.
Yeah. I've seen some interesting TikToks. People talk about things that they would fix in the Jurassic World Jurassic Park World to
Mm-hmm.
fix some of these issues. So one of them was like unionizing their employees so you don't get a Ned.
Did you send that to me? I feel like I've seen this.
Or did you send it to me?
Maybe I saw it.
Maybe you sent it to me. But I'm just like...
We tend to be on the same
Yeah.
TikTok side anyways.
But I was just like, I don't think that's... like. He wanted money.
Right.
So the union necessarily wouldn't get it for him. He just wanted money. He didn't feel like he was getting paid. And so, just pay him more money, but ultimately someone else is going to pay him more and something like that. Are you recording? I don't think you're recording.
I was recording.
The big red dot's on your thing right now.
Oh, it's not recording now.
Yeah.
Well, let's start recording again.
Okay.
Here we go. Let me just...
Hello, folks.
I'm back. I don't know where I went, but I'm back now.
But yeah, so I think that humans, dinosaurs living together, probably not smart. We created them in this world, so we should be able to take them out and feel no remorse about the issue
Yeah.
for the safety of humans.
I feel like if we are going to ever get to that point where we are trying to engineer dinosaurs, because I'm sure that in some lab somewhere they're just trying to make tiny versions of them.
I will visit Jurassic Park, by the way.
Absolutely.
Even though I know I shouldn't, I would go.
Yes, because again, there are 6 movies that tell you do not go, but
Go.
It's a dinosaur, so I would like to see that with my own eyeballs.
Because there is 6 movies telling me don't go, but then there's what was that movie? Like Back in Time or We're Back. It was a cartoon where dinosaurs were brought to the present and they were made smarter and then they interacted with humans. And there was a T-Rex named Rex. And man, I hope this movie better exist.
I can picture it.
Okay.
I don't think I ever saw it. In fact,
Okay.
I can picture it so much to the point. I think it was John Goodman. I think is one of the voices.
I think he plays Rex.
Yeah, but I don't think that I ever saw it.
Okay. Yeah. But, I mean, dinosaurs work just fine in that one, so it's a 1 in 6 currently split. I got to find 5 other movies to justify me going there so I can at least be like, hey, it's a 50-50 shot. I might die, I might live.
But it's a dinosaur.
Yeah. And so that's going to put me over the top.
Yeah.
And the fiance would force me to go anyways. Even if it was like 100% guarantee we're going to go.
100% guarantee we're going to die. This is our swan song right here.
Yes.
Like we're going out on this.
Yeah. Dude,
It stopped again.
Yeah. Are you at the end of your thing, Bob?
I should not be, but
I don't know.
who knows?
Well, I think this is a good time.
Yeah. If you're watching this on the on the Spotify video or on the YouTube or whatever,
We're glad you joined us.
yeah.
And I'll give my shout out to you, the listener. Thanks for being along for the past 14, 15 episodes.
Yeah.
However you want to do that math.
Yeah.
I've appreciated you. And every single time I record this, I think of you. You directly. The listener, the watcher. You. Who do you want to shout out, Jesse?
You're
not going to top that.
I am not at all. I am going to. Who did I have? I had somebody in mind already, and then I've forgotten it. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna shout out John Crichton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Michael Crichton.
Michael Crichton. Philip J. Crichton. Philip J. Jurassic World is who I'm shouting out. And Thomas A. Jurassic Park. This one goes out to you. I have always loved the entire Jurassic Park, Jurassic World.
The Jurassic saga.
Yes, the whole saga. I just really enjoy it, and on the same line as I do the Star Wars saga. Like I just that world. Just there's just something about the world that just fascinates me, and it probably is all related to my childhood.
I can remember being like, what, 9-ish, 8-ish when that movie came out, Jurassic Park, and my mom being like, "It's PG-13, but that's only because dinosaurs eat people." so I'm okay with you going.
Yeah.
Like, and just be like, yes, I get to see Jurassic Park in theaters, and just how amazing it was.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the entire thing. Steven Spielberg, thank you for an amazing film franchise.
Guys. Yep, for sure.
Colin Trevorrow, you get some love there too, but Spielberg started it off.
Yep. Yeah. It's good stuff. Anyway, so my shout out goes to you guys. So if any of you want to hit me up, just to say thanks, then that's great. Just a call. You just, I'd say tweet
I
at
wouldn't
me,
turn it away.
Yeah. I would not turn you down. If maybe even you wanted to make, a seventh one and you just wanted me to walk by, like I'll do it. I got you.
I wouldn't even have to. I'll just show up on set. Just okay, that's cool. Watch for like half a minute.
I just want to ride a Stegosaurus. Like that's it. That's all I want to do. I just want to ride a Stegosaurus. Is it too much to ask? Is it too much?
Do you need someone to fall into Triceratops poop? Because I'm willing to volunteer.
I did not think poop. I thought you were going to say into a T-Rex's mouth. But
I'll
no.
volunteer for that too. But I figured if I go for like the ridiculous one, they're like, we need someone to fall into their poop.
It's like, oh yeah, we hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
This guy said, like, that's what it takes.
And this guy on a podcast that we
I'm
listen to every week.
willing to do it.
Man, good stuff. All right, well, hey, despite all of the technical issues, and it just seems like a weird week for technical issues. To be honest, there've been a lot going on. The other day, it turned out like 40 cell towers went down near here, like around Verizon. Like I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get anything to work on my phone unless I was on Wi-Fi.
Oh,
it was
weird.
It was so weird. And
China.
Yeah. I mean, they're the boogeyman now. Oh man, I wanted to talk about Stranger Things. We could have talked about Kenobi, and we could talk about Miss Marvel. So many.
Well,
things
I want
to
cover Kenobi next week because we haven't done it episodically. So
that's
if we do
right.
next
So
week, we can have a 6 week.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Are you watching Stranger Things?
I've finished.
Season
yeah.
4. Okay. I'm about halfway. I'm on like.
I don't want to get into it too
4 or
much,
5.
but I am so not happy that they split it into 2 parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netflix, your whole thing was you give us the entire show or series or season, whatever you
Is
want
it
to call
just because it's not filmed, or are they done?
No, it releases like in a week. July 1st, it comes out.
The second part.
Yeah. So I think they just wanted people to renew for June and then renew for July because they knew people would in their thing.
Netflix.
Yeah.
My only question is, why do they make the kids look so bad? Like they just look.
We got to save this for next week. We got to go.
Okay, we got to go.
Your wife will kill me.
All right. A lot of good things to talk about. And I really want to cover what you ended last week with. So I'm going to say it again, what you ended last week with, so that we can remember to do it next week.
Okay.
But why are people so mean?
Why are people so mean?
You said that. You said
I did.
At the
I
end
know.
of the
I know.
podcast.
Yeah.
I'd like to get on that.
Yeah.
Because
Charity.
you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, 2 things.
This was such a weird episode. But 2 things, Jesse. What are those 2 things?
2 things. Number 1, you are loved. So loved. Please don't ever consider yourself unworthy of love because it's just not true. Not only do Jeremiah and I love you, even though we may not know you personally, we love you, but God in heaven loves you. He created you. He gave you value, worth, and you are precious to him. So please know that you are loved.
And that second thing is you are not guaranteed tomorrow. It can be rough to say sometimes, but tomorrow is not guaranteed for you. So right now, stop the podcast and do business with God. Do business with whoever you're having issues with. Call them up, text them, DM them, whatever you're going to do, and make yourself right with others. But most importantly, make yourself right with God, because you might die tonight. And with that, I've been Jeremiah.
And I'm Jesse.
This has been Level 5 Podcast. We're glad you joined us.
We love you. Have a good night.
Get out of here, you crazy kids.